Welcome to a ship tour of the Caribbean Princess. The Caribbean Princess was launched in 2004 and refurbished in 2019. It has a guest capacity of 3,100. In this tour, I'm going to take you through the entire ship and be sure to watch out for the 4 places that we most loved. We will start on deck 5, first in the Islander restaurant. This is a main dining room restaurant, and this is for scheduled dining. So if you have early or late scheduled dining, you can dine here. Otherwise, you will not be able to dine at this restaurant without a reservation. Right outside of the dining room, I will start with a bar called the Good Spirits. Right next door is one of my favorite spots on the ship, the International Cafe. There were several things I liked about this cafe. Number 1, it is open for 24 hours. Not like we're ever up late, because we aren't. It's really nice when ships have a 24-hour venue, but they had specialty pastries, they had sandwiches at lunch, they had breakfast entrees, and you could also get your specialty coffees here. They were extremely efficient and they had the nicest server. And everything that you see in the case is not what you receive. They go and get a fresh one from the back. Next up is the Piazza. This is the center of every ship. It's typically called the atrium on other cruise lines. Right across the way is the Vines Wine Bar. I loved the Vines Wine Bar, not only because they had some elevated wines, but I loved the atmosphere and the fact that we could get great views out the window. Next door to that was the Internet Cafe. The Internet Cafe is equipped with many computers if you want to utilize that for your internet, but our kids spent plenty of time in here doing their schoolwork on their own computers because there were desks. There's also an extremely limited library. Something to note, the elevators wait for nobody. Either get on or get knocked over. Now we'll head up to deck 6. First on deck 6 on the left, you'll find guest services, which was never busy. That's a great thing because they handle things extremely efficiently and they don't have a lot of issues. Then you will come upon the Crown Grill. This is one of 2 specialty restaurants, which is the Steakhouse. Next up is the Coral Dining Room. This is the dining room if you have anytime dining and you love that flexibility, so that's where we dined each night. You can get reservations, which we would highly recommend because we did have to wait over an hour for a table. Then you will come across the Explorer's Lounge. The Explorer's Lounge is great. It's an expansive lounge. They did many events here, including trivia and whatnot. We didn't spend a ton of time here because they always seem to have the blinds drawn and it was very dark, and we just love to get daylight while we're on a cruise. On the right here is the Wheelhouse Bar. That was a nice venue because it was kind of tucked away from everything and they did offer live music nightly. On the right over here, you will see Sabatini's. This is the second of 2 specialty dining restaurants, the Italian option that I've heard great things about. This is the photo center. It's quite small. Everything is digitalized. It's on your phone app, so you can see all your photos and choose your purchasing options on the app, which is extremely convenient. And last is Club Fusion. This is a huge place. This is another place we didn't spend a lot of time, but in the morning they had some cool like yoga. Maybe that's like Tai Chi, exercise stretches, which seem kind of cool. Over here near the Piazza is the Crooners Bar. So this is a deck up from the main floor of the Piazza, but if you enjoy some of the live music that they offer there, which we did because they had a saxophone duo that was fantastic, this is a place you can hang out, grab a drink, and enjoy it. Walking a little bit forward on these counters here, they always had some sort of like sales or specials for like souvenir items and jewelry. You can see the other shops were over there as well. And here's just a quick view of the Piazza from above. Now, as you can see, we are approaching the casino. So as Tony B would say, this is where you can test the fates if that's what you enjoy to do. We enjoy watching everyone else doing it versus doing it ourselves, but we find just as much enjoyment. Now we are at the top level of the Princess Theater. I didn't show it when we were on the lower level. I always like to show it from up top, but I mean, it's a theater. It's simple, basic. All right, now we're skipping all the way up to deck 15, starting with Steamers. Steamers is a casual dining option, which was new to us on this ship because we always know about the included dining and specialty dining. Well, casual dining's in between. It's an upcharge unless you have the Princess Plus package, which in that case, you get 2 meals. Steamers is the seafood restaurant, but it's also part of the buffet during the day. Also Planks Barbecue, that's on the other side of the buffet. Again, it is a casual dining option that is an upcharge, free if you have Princess Plus for your first 2 meals, and that's where we dined. So check out my other video where I will review the Planks restaurant and tell you how the food was. Next is the Calypso Bar. There were several bars that we never felt like we had to wait in line for a drink, and there's also several pools on board, which was nice to kind of split up the crowds, and the pools were decent sized. You'll see there's additional seating for eating, table, you know, if you want to play cards here or whatever, which is actually really nice. And that leads us to Coffee and Cones. We spent a lot of time at Coffee and Cones because this was a great place to grab coffee if you didn't want to go to the International Cafe. It was quite quiet and not a lot of people in the morning, and you could get your specialty desserts that 2 a day are included with your Princess Plus package, which was kind of crazy to us because we could never have that many, but that's what you're going to do there. All right, we're up on deck 16. So this is still the Calypso pool, but it is just from an elevated view. On deck 16, you can walk all the way to the front. We did it once or twice, but it can get quite windy, especially when you're at sea. All right, we're almost to my last 2 favorite spots on the ship. This is the Sanctuary. So this is a place that you can lounge and hang out for an extra pay. I'm not sure how much that was. There is also a pool as part of the Sanctuary, and a little tip here is the Sanctuary pool is open to everybody. You do not have to pay for that. You only have to pay if you want to lounge in the Sanctuary area. All right, Now we are heading to the back of the ship. Can't wait to show you my favorite aspect. Okay, this is another pool. Well, this is the Calypso pool yet again, but this is from the opposite vantage point, so you can see the movies under the stars. They had movies playing even during the day, so if you didn't want the DJ music that was at the Neptune pool, you could hang out here and watch a movie. They always played like really good movies. It was nice. Here's the splash pad for the little ones. It doesn't look like a great area, but it's actually really nice because there's a little pool. There's also a hot tub, but look, there's a bar for mom and dad to grab some drinks while the kids are splashing around. So it's not the worst place to be. Okay, before I show you my last two favorite spots, we'll just walk through. This is the Lotus Spa on the very front of the ship. That will lead you to the fitness center, which you can see at the end of the hall, but I saw that it was packed and I really did not want to record people exercising. Over here, this is the very aft of the ship. I loved this space. This is the terrace pool overlooking the wake. It was beautiful. We sat and had coffee every morning right there on the end. It was wonderful. We did spend a little time at the pool, but a lot of times because it's covered and it's in the back, it was shady and we appreciated a little bit more sun. But this side of the ship, this pool area is beautiful. You can't really see from here, but there's lounge chairs in front of the pool, right in front of the wake. We did enjoy that at Sail Away. And here's just some more lounging, which, as you should have seen from the video, there is a ton throughout the ship. All right, here is my last favorite kind of double-edged sword. Skywalker's nightclub. We loved this venue because it is beautiful. It's like the observation lounge. It is in the very back of the ship. It was big. It was beautiful. Part of the problem was it was never open. They had private events during the day. As you can see today, we're in there with our family. We're just hanging out, looking for a quiet spot to watch the water. And one night I popped here. It might have been like 8:30, and it wasn't going to be open until, I believe, 11. So I made my own fun. I made my own dance party, and that was enjoyable, but I would have loved to see more events take place because other people on board had agreed this was the best venue.